Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad you could join me here today. We've got our first house call of the weekend. We're hopefully going to get through 5 or 6 of our amazing community questions. These questions come in every single day at stephencabral.com/askcabral, and I answer them in the order that they come in. Typically takes about 10 to 12 weeks to get your question read live on this podcast. I don't do any prep work. I don't even see your question before actually opening up this document right now. And what I try to provide you with is not medical advice, medical cures, medical diagnosis, or medical treatment plans, but instead a natural health-based approach and a way to find and look for the underlying root cause as to why this issue may be there in the first place. All right. So without further ado, let's dive in. Let's get started. Just open up the document, and it looks like our first question is from Salman. Salman says, "Hello, thank you for your post on Alzheimer's early detection. Can you please share the info on where I can do the Alzheimer early detection blood test that you referred to?" Happy to help. So I talk about Alzheimer's. So basically there are 5 main causes of death, like before 100 plus years old. Okay. So we just can't get those 5. Like that's literally it. After that, it's smoking, it's accidents, it's things like that. You shouldn't smoke, right? And accidents are, you do your best, right? That's basically it. You wear your seatbelt in your car, those types of things. So what I want to share with you though, is it's heart disease, it's strokes and high blood pressure, it's type 2 diabetes, it's cancer, and it's Alzheimer's, okay? So if we can essentially not get those, and cancer's the wild card, it's super interesting because you don't always know what you're exposed to. There is a genetic component to it, et cetera, et cetera. But heart disease, you can see it coming, you can prevent it. With blood pressure, same thing. Like it's same with diabetes. So anyway, with Alzheimer's, it's decades in advance. So the number, and I teach all of this in high performance health. If you want to learn about all of these cutting edge things, go to highperformancehealth.org. Check it out. It might be the right fit for you. It may not, but you can check it out at least. So again, that's highperformancehealth.org. Okay. So for Alzheimer's, my number one recommendation is the head and torso full body MRI. And the reason I recommend that is that it actually then allows you to look at not only the brain, but the rest of the body for early detection. But if you want to just do Alzheimer's, there's something called the SPECT. You can check that out for brain imaging. And the blood work that you're referring to is called the Precivity AD. And let me see if I can get you the spelling on that. PRECIVITY AD. That's the name of the specific advanced Alzheimer's detection blood work. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for writing in. Sabrina's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Does having more fat on your belly also mean that you have more visceral fat? I'm lean, working out regularly, and eat very clean plant-based diet, but I still have lots of belly fat. I know this is due to my slightly slower thyroid and lower female hormones. I'm 45, but I'm still concerned about this. Thanks so much for your answer. All right, so definitely check out my podcast on visceral versus subcutaneous fat. And if you ever can't find a podcast by searching it at stephencabral.com/podcasts, write in at cabralsupportgroup.com. We'll find the podcast for you. The amazing Michelle will help you do that. Okay, so here's the thing. If you can pinch the body fat, for the most part, that's subcutaneous. That's not visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that's kind of woven in with the muscle and the organs. It looks, again, pardon my description of it, but a belly that protrudes like a pot belly, right? As they referred to it as that, like a harder, bigger belly, that's more visceral fat. A belly that, again, part of my description, when you kind of lean forward, it has rolls, that's subcutaneous fat. All right. So hopefully that helps with the description. All right, next question is from Summer. Summer says, I have endometriosis, many ruptured ovarian cysts, 2 ectopic pregnancies, lots of internal bleeding and peritonitis. Fortunately, I found natural health and reversed many of my diseases, including PCOS, but not before destroying my chances for natural pregnancy. Each case involved internal bleeding and inflammation, leaving painful adhesions throughout my abdominal cavity. I a lot of them have been removed during other gynecological surgeries, but I know they left a couple on my liver. I do castor oil, manual manipulation of my liver and digestive tract, hoping to break them up. I know proteolytic enzymes are key. I did get some and intend to work at it from that angle as well. Will adhesions on the liver affect detox deficiency or efficiency? Will all that scar tissue jam up the lymphatic system in general? Thanks. Okay, so if I read this correctly, you had lots of issues around endometriosis, the cysts that you talked about, PCOS, etc. Okay, so then you had some surgeries, which then did not allow then for a natural pregnancy. You got a lot of these things, but you have some scar tissue and you have a couple maybe cysts left. So I always want to say proteolytic enzymes are not the only thing. I'm also a big fan of pancreatic enzymes when there are cysts to break down. And that would be things like trypsin and, what's the name of it? Like chymosin. I apologize. It's just not that, the pronunciation of that is not coming to me. Again, I always give you the excuse, but I read so much and I don't listen. So I don't necessarily like my pronunciation in general. I think with English leaves a lot to be desired, but I simply do my best, right? So, okay, there's that. There's protease. There's all those great things. So protease, the trypsin, the chymosin, also great. And then you've got your nattokinase and you have your cyberpeptase. Fantastic. Okay. But in general, we want to look at intermittent fasting. We want to look at functional medicine detoxes, things like that, which would then give a period of time that the body could get into deeper levels of autophagy. And I would love for you to look into that greater. I have a whole podcast subset on intermittent fasting. You can find that at stephencabral.com/podcasts. There wouldn't be a way for me to necessarily know if it's hindering your detox efficiency. I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that. But if you were to, let's say, have your blood work done and your AST and your ALT, which are liver enzymes, were elevated, then you might say, okay, well, there's cause for an issue right now in the liver. Hopefully that's not the case. Probably doesn't seem like the case. And then I don't think that it should really, let's call it gum up your lymphatic tissue. Make sure you're rebounding. Make sure you're doing some sauna, some heat, some manual lymph drainage, some self-massage. You're doing the castor oil, which is great. So, I think you're definitely on the right track. Hopefully that was helpful. Susie's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've heard you can take redox signaling molecules as a supplement. What is your opinion on that? Is it true? Does it have side effects, or does it really speed up the healing process in the body? Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting topic. So I teach redox inside of high performance health as well. And basically it stands for reduction oxidation. And what redox does is it helps to essentially eliminate harmful tissue in the body while also providing antioxidants, so oxidation to break down harmful tissue, and antioxidants to provide an extra electron essentially for free radicals so that they don't then damage the body, right? So it's a balance within the body. I have not seen, and I've looked into it, but I have not seen yet a specific redox signaling supplement that has been proven to do what it says it's going to do. Now, that doesn't mean there isn't one out there, and it doesn't mean that one out there right now isn't already working. I have not seen any clinical studies showing that this works. What does work is a high antioxidant diet. So, internally, a diet that has 7 to 9 servings of fruits and veggies every day, high in antioxidants, very helpful. Daily fruit and vegetable blend powder, like a greens rainbow-based blend, can be helpful. So things high in antioxidants, your vitamin C's, your vitamin E's, etc. Okay, now, externally, may this work even better? Something like, again, a redox-based product, a hydrogen peroxide. We know a hydrogen peroxide basically lends an extra oxygen molecule to kill a lot of the bacteria in necrotic tissue. That's, again, I can't give you any medical advice, but I have no problem using hydrogen peroxide for a cut on the outside of the body to kill any bacteria. A lot of people, they don't do that. They don't believe in it. They think it's more harmful. Totally get it, and I understand, and I respect their opinion. What I'm saying is I'm not going to use antibiotics unless it's life-saving, and I want to do something that's going to immediately kill a lot of that bacteria. Now, it might damage some of the healthy tissue as well. I get it, and I understand that. Right? You're deciding. And so we don't use it for a long period of time, but while there's bacteria, you need to get rid of that. And so a couple times a day, I may use that. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. Thank you. Diona is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thanks for all you do. I'm following you and have found so much help and hope on my health journey. Happy to hear that, Diona. My question today concerns my 32-year-old son. He's getting painful mouth ulcers and his palms and feet get spots. All he has been able to come up with is mouth, hand, and foot disease. However, this happens every few months. What would you suggest? Okay, totally get it. Hand, foot, and mouth disease is a real thing. Typically more in children, they get it. And although it's said that you're only able to get this virus once, I definitely know people that have gotten more than once. So anyway, but does it happen really more than twice? Almost never. Like, I've never really heard of that. And so what I would say is this, is that if it's coming every few months, the likelihood of that it's that, not high. Again, I can't give you medical diagnosis, but I would absolutely look deeper into the body. Again, if this is going on immediately, like, so this is a family member of mine, because I always treat everybody like family. They're running the big 5 labs, and they're running their blood work with their PCP or on their own. That's what I'm doing, because I need to figure out immediately what's going on in the body. Right? If I see really low white blood cells, I might be like, all right, there might be some type of virus going on in the body right now. Okay, I want to look at that. I might look at fungal-based issues, right? And the fungal-based issues could be leading to some of these sores. Maybe there's a heavy metal that's leading to these sores. Again, I don't know, so I would only be guessing. And I don't like to guess. It's not what I do. And the reason I don't guess is that many people guessed for many years what was wrong with me. And then I started doing at-home lab testing, and I was able to figure it out. And so I wasted years of my life. It's not wasted. Again, now it's now I look at it obviously with gratitude, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I had figured this out right away. But no, there's no chance. Like, I didn't plan to become a doctor of naturopathy. I didn't plan that at all. So through a lot of trial and error, and a lot of reading of books and obviously, education and clients, I got to the fortunate position I'm in right now. But I had to go through a lot of unfortunate circumstances to get there. Having said all of that, not everybody wants to take the path that I did, and I can't recommend it for most. So what I'm recommending is get that help that you need as quickly as possible. You can go to stevencabral.com/big5, work with our team, or you can work with an integrative health practitioner level 2, or you can work with a naturopathic doctor and run your blood work as well and rule everything out. Figure out what it is. You'll be able to narrow it down. All right, let's do one more question. This one is from Anne. Anne says, hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for doing so much to help so many. I've been on Synthroid for over 30 years. I would like to work on getting to the root cause of why my thyroid is low. I understand that running free T4, free T3 is important, besides TSH, but can I run these while on Synthroid and get accurate information? How do I go about understanding the root cause without going off the medication first? Thank you again. It's a great question. And I always, and I apologize, because it's almost impossible for me to be able to get all the information that everybody needs in order to heal in any format. Like, that's the really hard thing. It's hard. I've tried to figure this out, because it's challenging. Because for Anne, I would like her to know that yes, you should just run the stress, mood, and metabolism test. And it's going to tell you if it's high cortisol that could be causing low thyroid, if there's vitamin D issues, if there's insulin issues, right? So that's a great one to start. But also you want to run, if you can, the whole big 5, because what if it's vitamin or mineral deficiencies? I have a whole subset of podcasts and on just the thyroid. They're all free. If you want a whole course, 4.5 hours of how to heal your thyroid, I have one on how to heal female hormones, how to heal your thyroid, how to heal your digestion, all at stevencabral.com/courses. I mean, you will know how to, it's guaranteed. If you don't feel that the information will allow you to heal your body, ask for a refund. Please do. It's not my intention. But when people make an investment, they're more likely to follow through. It's just the way that it is. I found that with myself. I found that with everybody. Anyway, all the podcasts are free on thyroid. Has the information there. If you want it concise, rather than reading a dozen books, there's that. Run the big 5. It includes the stress, mood, and metabolism test, and that will help you find the underlying root cause. So whatever works for you, we're happy to help you in any way possible. You can find all the labs at stevencabral.com/shop, and you'll find the labs there, the stress, mood, and metabolism test, or the big 5, which includes that as well. So hopefully this was helpful. I'll be back tomorrow answering more of our community's questions. Have an amazing rest of the day. I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stevencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.